It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. You just got back home from a very long, stressful day at work. You had a bunch of tasks that were given to you that didn't play out the way that you had hoped. And now you are considering quitting your job. But then you get a notification to your phone saying that you have just received your paycheck. Now you have $1,000, $2,000, maybe even $3,000 to play around with. Life is good. You're gonna go out, hang out with your friends tonight. You might save up for a new car that you've been looking at. Well, what if I told you that becoming wealthy isn't just about how much money you make? It's also about what you do with the money after you've made it. As I'm sure you guessed from the title of this video, today I'm gonna be going over 5 things you should be doing with your next paycheck if you want to attain financial freedom one day. I know we all do. Let's get straight into it. Now, as a lot of you guys already know, if you've been here for a while, I quit my last job last year at 20 years old. I was working at restaurants, I was working fast food, anything that had customer service, I was there. So as you can imagine, I've had my fair share of paychecks. In reality, most people are living paycheck to paycheck simply because they don't know how to properly spend and invest the money after they've made it. That is the reason that some people are out here making $100,000 a year and struggling just as much as somebody who's making $50,000 a year. We all fall victim to this paradox where when we start making a bit more money, we also start spending a bit more money. And now it feels like you have nothing to show for the raise that you just made. Well, a wise man once told me that there's only one thing that differentiates the ordinary from the extraordinary, and that's the word extra. All you have to do to get out of your current situation is do extra. Do what the average person would not do, and then you'll be able to do what they can't do. This all starts off with these key things. First off is opening a high yield savings account. Now, a lot of you guys have probably heard of this before, but in case you haven't, a high yield savings account is a savings account meant for long-term savings because it offers you what is known as an APY, also known as an annual percentage yield on your money. Basically, what this means is your money combats inflation. See, when you use a normal bank savings account, like a HYSA account or maybe Bank of America, usually these big banks do not offer a large APY on your money. So your money is sitting in these savings accounts, you keep it in there for a year, 2 years, maybe even 5 years, and now inflation has went up maybe 20%, and your money is still the same value that it was 5 years ago. This essentially means that your money is losing value over time. See, the key to true financial freedom is parking your money in places that will allow it to grow at the same rate or faster than inflation. Now, there are several different good banks that you can open up a high yield savings account with. I personally have mine with Capital One. I love using Capital One. I think that it's very simple and easy to use. I think that their app is very lucrative, and this is coming from a young person that already knows how to use many different mobile apps. But some other really good banks include SoFi, American Express, or even a credit union. Now, the next thing that you're gonna wanna spend your next paycheck on is actually investing in the stock market. This is something that people talk about all the time, but for some reason, not everybody does it. You would think that because you hear about it all the time, it actually has some power to it, right? Well, of course it does. On average, the stock market brings you about 10% back on your money per year that you're invested into it, as per the S&P 500. Now, this means if you had invested just $1,000 10 years ago, that $1,000 would be around $3,500 to $3,900 at this moment. This is exactly why keeping money from your paycheck in investments is a lot smarter than keeping that money in your bank savings account. If you're completely lost with the stock market and you want to learn more about investing as a whole, just leave a like on this video and comment down below so that I can make a video on it. Now, the next key thing that you should do with your next paycheck is starting a side hustle. Now, this is actually why I started this channel in the first place, was to teach people how to make money with side hustles. There are so many different options out there. You never run out of money, you only run out of ideas. Now, me personally, my Shopify store is over $80,000 in sales. I have done pretty decent with selling kitchen appliances. So if you want to learn how to start a legitimate company where you sell things online via Shopify, I'm your guy. I actually offer a mentorship for just $35. The link for that will be in the description below if you're interested in getting started. But make sure to also shoot me a DM on TikTok or Instagram at Tyler Bowles Continues. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Now, as I'm sure you would know, starting a side hustle, once it becomes successful, can bring you back way more money than even your 9-to-5 job. I mean, a lot of people have the dream of starting a side hustle and it takes them out of work one day and now they can work from home in their own little office, whether it be starting a YouTube channel, starting a drop shipping store like I said earlier. Maybe you just want to sell your clothes on the side on Etsy or eBay or something like that. It doesn't matter. But having something is way better than having nothing. You don't ever want to have to only rely on one source of income. If you can have three, have three. Now, the fourth thing that I believe you all should be doing with your paychecks is upgrading your equipment. Now, this sounds very crazy, but hear me out. Having a upgraded setup allows you to output more product. So if you do decide to start that side hustle with this next paycheck, having the laptop that you need, having the microphone that you might need if you're going to decide to make videos or anything like that, can actually be an investment. You're not wasting money. Spending money on a good microphone that you can use to create videos and profit from is a lot smarter than spending that money at Starbucks, spending that money on DoorDash every week, etc., etc. A lot of people don't understand that equipment upgrading is not a waste of money. It is an investment. It's just long term because, of course, it's going to take time for you to make money off of these side hustles that you're pursuing. Now, if you're a little bit further down the line in your side hustle, this might mean reserving some of that money to hire freelance workers. Maybe you need somebody to do UGC content for you. Maybe you need somebody to design your website for you. I actually design websites on Shopify for just $80. Okay, so I'm one of these people where I do freelance work and I know just how useful it can be to outsource some of these tasks so that you don't have to sit in front of your computer for 5+ hours a day after your 9-to-5 shift. Now, the final but perhaps most important way that you should spend your money from your next paycheck is paying off debt. More specifically, credit card debt. Credit card debt is some of the worst debt that you could ever have simply because it has such high interest rates. I mean, you could miss your payment for 1 month and now they're tacking on an extra 23 to even 29% of the balance that you already had in place. So if you are in debt, maybe $1,000 on one card, now you're gonna have to pay back $1,200. Now keep in mind there's more that goes into this. I mean, you do have your statement balance, you do have your due dates. If you want a video on credit card debt, I will also push that out to the channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you are there for that video as well. But because you're paying off debt, you're essentially combating that interest rate that otherwise would be taking you down heavily. Carrying debt and carrying that extra 20% every single month that you don't pay off the full balance is one of the greatest ways to hinder yourself from becoming financially free. In a lot of cases, paying off credit card debt would be even more helpful than investing in the stock market because, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of times the stock market on average will pay you back about 10% per year. But if you go without paying your credit card debt for a full year, now imagine how much of your money that's going to eat into. It is going to take away way more than the stock market would give you if you had invested that $1,000 rather than putting it into your credit card debt. If this video was at all helpful to any of you, or if you think that I got something wrong and you want to put that down in the comments below, I will happily have a chat with all of you. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Stay happy, stay blessed, stay motivated, and I'm going to catch you guys in that next video. Thank you so much.